Hey, everybody, welcome back. So, we are riding this eclipse energy wave. I'm excited that you're here riding it with me. So, after I completed our last collective reading, um, the universe guided me towards the next message that they would have for us as we cross that gateway of this powerful energy from the new moon eclipse. Okay, so we have some of our fairies and mermaids and other beings from the oracle, and um, they're going to help us to kind of unpack more of what this eclipse energy has in store for us. Okay, this is going to help push us through the end of this year into 2021. All right, so the holiday season is quickly approaching as well, and so whatever holidays those might be for you and your family, um, we have not only much to be thankful for, but also um, things to resolve to ourselves as we move into the 2021 calendar year. All right, so we're going to dive right into this. I'm going to ring the bell and clear the energy. So, the way that this spread again intuitively unfolded was that we have the number one, Ghost of the Pumpkin Patch here, reminding us to count our blessings. And so we will look at what the good tarot has for us. The reason why we have two cards in particular is because they are reflecting to us kind of like as above, so below. And so for each of the decks that I used, we have an energy from the universe, and then we have one that the earth is reflecting. Okay, so that includes us in all of the situations that we find ourselves closing up and wrapping up that karma that we talked about in our last videos. Okay, so the good tarot, first we have the Eight of Fire. So from up above, as we see here, there are um, globes of light. All right. Thank you, Spirit. This could be angelic light forces, otherworldly beings coming from the universal multidimensionality of our cosmic realms, not only illuminating us with lots of communication, um, information, downloads, but generally light. Okay, so that solar eclipse that we had kind of blocked out the sun, and now we see many lights being illuminated here. So, as it pertains to counting our blessings, you could create a list of things to be grateful for. The first one being life itself, and then eight other things that you could be grateful for. Now, let me correct myself. When I say things, I'm referring to the intangibles, right? Those aspects of our life experience that make up who we are and support us in our continued effort to move forward and continue to build positivity around the things that we are embarking on and embracing in our lives. Okay. So, as above, so below, we have here the Six of Earth. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Spirit, for your presence. We love you. So, the presence of spiritual beings and spiritual connection showing itself in the earthly plane. So these are cards that reflect that as above, so below, because these things are kind of coming down. These are lights coming down, and the pentacles that we have here are on the antlers of this deer here, or elk possibly. And so, as above, so below, the universe is pouring down not only blessings, information, um, and illumination onto us, but the earth is reciprocating that. The six of earth is about reciprocation, it's about generosity. So, us being able to realize the generous nature of the earth itself, um, the fact that we're just conduits and channels of that abundant union and connection between the earthly plane and the spiritual plane. Um, and so, counting our blessings here in the earthly plane as well stems from a deeper understanding and sense of gratitude in the spiritual, intangible aspect of our lives. Okay. So I hope that is clear to you that life itself, the spark of life itself, is what grants you the opportunity to be illuminated, to have physical things to actually be thankful for. Because without life, without health, without your strength, you would not be able to realize and experience the earthly, tangible um, evidence of spiritual support in your life. Ashe? Ooh. As you can see, that's a lot of communication coming in, very profound communication, one that requires you to take your time and digest it appropriately, accordingly, and have the clear intention and focus on what it is that you're saying, so that you are expressing the depths and jewels from within that majestic radiance within your being. Okay. This all ties into the bridge reading and our new moon energy spread. So go ahead and catch up to where we are, um, and then, you know, rejoin the wave. All right. A lot of these messages are timeless, so you can watch this one and then go back. It might create a better understanding for you in that way, whichever um, suits you best. All right. So, as we move forward through the rest of this year and through this powerful energy from the eclipse and the shift that is coming, the momentum that has already begun, we have some rainbow activations here. So, as above, we have the number 20. So, just intuitively, not looking at the book right now, what I gather from this is that not only do we see the rays kind of shining down through the sturdy, grounded, connected earthly element of these trees here, but we also see that illumination combining with our energy and then being radiated outward towards all things in the earthly plane. So it's almost like the trees and the grass and everything that's around us picks up information about how we're doing and how we're feeling and what we're doing, and it sends information to the spiritual realm, and then the spiritual realm supports the maintained balance and ecosystem by then shining down the necessary karmic lessons and things that are required for us to get that wheel turning again in some things and start something anew, so that our impact on each other and on the planet is positive, and then creates, you know, pretty much like the water cycle, if that makes sense. The cycle of life can begin again. So let's go to the book for this one. The number 20. Ooh, says freedom. So the key words here are rebel, choice, awareness, rejoice, movement, enslavement, and release. Ooh. I'm gonna do a contest. This just came to me because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. My favorite number, yes. 7 keywords that I just read to you have had to have shown up in any number of the readings that I have posted recently on this channel. And if anyone can identify which video these 7 keywords are in, I will completely give you a spiritual toolkit for free. I'll put the specific contest rules, etc., on my Instagram. So that will be the first way for you to enter into this contest, is to follow me on Instagram and find out exactly how to participate. And then you will see whether or not you are the winner. Okay. Anyway, so this is all for your own good. Anyway, the universe is saying, like, it's not doing anything for me for you to find these keywords. It will be a positive influence on your life to do a scavenger hunt of sorts for these keywords, because the gems that you get from watching the whole video um, really will impact your life. So let's have some fun with this. Freedom is a way of life we choose for ourselves or offer to another. World history is littered with instances of the enslavement of people or the subjugation of ideas, as well as the stealing away of possibility or the denial of opportunity. Ultimately, however, we are charged with the responsibility of releasing ourselves from the bondage by which we are imprisoned. Attachment is a powerful dynamic we use to learn cooperation with the outer world. Detachment teaches independence of the inner world. True freedom, however, comes from transcending both, embracing a position defined by the complete acceptance and the total surrender to the circumstances at hand. This spiritual concept may feel a lot like apathy, but in truth, it is the purest form of love and compassion. From what do you need to free yourself? How can you live in freedom? If you haven't been keeping up with these videos, you really are missing out, because the synchronicities that Spirit provides is a surprise to me every time. And so I'm grateful. Find out about this contest because it's going to be a lot of fun. Um, so we realize that freedom is what is available to us from above. And so if the universe is shining down this understanding of our own freedom and our own connection, divine connection to the universe, right? And our ability to positively impact the earth, giving and receiving in balance in a way that sustains our ecosystem in a positive way. Let's see what we have here for So Below. Ooh, looks like a bullseye to me, honey. It looks like this magnified and zoomed in to see that it's been us all along, right? Atonement, like we talked about in our last reading, right? So, us being the center of that life force energy, that creative and co creative capacity that we have emanating from everything that we do because we are in alignment. All right. We have our eye on the target, our eye on the prize. And not only is that a level of self love and self appreciation, self compassion, self forgiveness, um, and also just a basic knowledge of self in truth, not the illusion that we've been given, that our impact on the earthly plane would be positive because of the natural ecosystem that we create through our life experience here. So let's see what this bullseye has for you and me. This is the number 37. This is radiance. Oh my God. The affirmation was deep within, there is majestic radiance. Ashe. So we have the keywords here are enjoyment, fulfillment, overflow, firmness, influence, expansion, transmission. Ooh, transmission. The antlers, being able to transmit and relay information the same way that the universe relays information to us. We relay information to it. And by us meditating on and focusing on, contemplating on the things that we want to see for ourselves and for the world around us, then we can transmit that message. They can transmit the appropriate ways to go about that, and we can express the fulfillment and full expansion of our joy and our radiance. Okay. So, from the book, it says radiance is the constant, eternal flow of light that is our birthright. Who we are emanates outward from the light within our being, in spite of personal struggles. Recognizing the beauty of our influence in the world is paramount to our balance and well being. No matter the state of affairs today, focus on your radiance and the radiance of others. Allow yourself to be open to the overflow of love everywhere you look. Finding fulfillment while loving others is a skill set that must be cultivated. It takes practice. It's different than feeling love. It's about choosing to perceive the adoration that exists all around you. When the radiance card has shown up, we're being asked to witness love in all of its forms. Woo! What an activation. Oh, thank you so much. So now that this powerful energy shift is bringing to the forefront our freedom, which is truth, and our radiance, which helps to reflect that truth, we have the fairy of the highlands here reminding us that it is time to be brave. So before we move on, I'm going to take a sip of this tea real quick because the energy is really strong tonight. What is it that we are being called to be brave about? So we can see here that oh my gosh, the universe wants me to go back a little bit and talk about the fairies themselves, because they're the ones leading the charge on how to unpack this message. So forgive me, I will go back just a little bit. See, it's time to be brave in admitting when we may have been moving too fast, when we jumped the gun, when we, um, spoke too soon, when we thought we had the answers but really didn't. Um, oh my gosh, they're really bringing my attention to the warp speed vaccination that we have, right? It's time for us to be brave. Um, and firstly, the ghost of the pumpkin patch here, she's amidst what looks like desolation, right? So, what the universe is saying is that even if everything had to start again, what would you be thankful for? If you kind of lost, let's say, all the physical things, the stuff, the material stuff that you've gained and learned to count as your blessings, if those things weren't present anymore, what would be on your list, right? Life would be the first thing on your list, hopefully. And then what would the other eight understandings about life that you could be thankful for and count as your blessings, so that you could tune into the earthly plane and rebuild your quote unquote physical abundance. Thank you, Spirit. Now, with this powerful energy shift with the eclipse mermaid here, this is definitely pointing to our messenger of water. This is pointing to our Six of Cups. This is pointing to very many of the um, messages that came through as we seek to clear the stagnant emotional waters within our own spaces, okay, within our own being, within our home space, within our work environments, and then completely extending that outward, okay. Now, for our brave fairy of the highlands here, right, although she may have uncertainty in her eyes and the wind is whipping at her hair, it may be dark in her physical experience in that landscape that she's in, but she knows that she holds that sword of truth. And it's time for her to be brave and move forward with that sword of truth, knowing that it will stand the test of time and it will stand against any illusion and any falsehood. That sword of truth will prove itself to be um, superior to any impulsive and irrational illusions that we've been fed. Okay. So now that we are complete with giving our other worldly beings their just due, um, I'm going to move on to what it is that we need to be brave about, let's say, in the as above position, in the spiritual and mental realms. What is it that we need to be brave about? This dark mirror card is, oh my gosh, atonement is back. So it's time to be brave. Look at all of these swords. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. All of these swords in her back. It doesn't even matter how deeply she comes under attack. She is ready to stand strong. Look, she's got water dripping from her hands. Oh, thank you so much for the synchronicity. She's standing in the clouds, dwelling in the truth. The light is all around her crown, very similar to the other readings that we've done. So, in the physical reality, it might be dark and she might have some trepidation, but there's that simultaneous dwelling in the truth. And so, as we emerge into grace and understand how to navigate those emotional waters and to not fear spiritually the ways in which people might try to hurt, harm, or injure us, we know what the truth is, okay? And we can atone for those things and continue to move forward, um, following our intuitive pull and allowing ourselves to be tempered, um, because we know in truth that the only swords we need to hold are the ones of righteousness, truth, and justice. Okay. And so it's time to be brave because this atonement may come with the resolution of a personal issue. Okay, something is going to come full circle. It's going to be shining under the bright full moon, and you will be able to take responsibility for any ways in which um, you may not have been giving off that radiance or tapping into the connection that you have with the divine, to get the appropriate answers. Okay, so below what we have for this dark mirror, we have Triumph of Lies. Oh my gosh. And so this Triumph of Lies is really indicating the ways that the illusions that I was just talking about have triumphed in our physical reality. All right. We've allowed one old white man in a suit and his cronies, right, to triumph with fear and oppression and, you know, really trying to dim our light. Okay, we've allowed that to triumph. And in the physical reality, as we've atoned mentally and spiritually in the physical reality, we can identify the biggest lie, right? The number one lie that we've been fed, and that's that we are not free. In whatever ways that you find yourself being oppressed, that is the biggest falsehood. All right, you are absolutely free. And the tough choices that we have to make, we have to be able to look within to resolve that issue within self first before we can hold anyone outside of ourselves accountable. Oh my gosh, we got a full moon in Cancer and a new moon in Cancer card. So what this is saying is that you and your loved ones are safe. The fear mongering, that is the biggest illusion that we've been subjected to, um, is this card is reminding us that we are safe. You and your loved ones are protected by the mother. All right. This Cancer energy really reflects, you know, for me personally, because I'm a Cancer sun, Cancer moon. So as above, so below. All right. And so um, being brave to overcome the triumph of lies with this sword of truth, um, just know that you are protected in the physical realm. The radiance that you have serves as a positive vortex and bubble around the things that you are doing to make the world a better place based on your own level of connection to the divine and your connection to your highest aspects, so that you can take responsibility and move forward full circle in everything that you do, releasing the karma and being able to have the new beginning be revealed to you as you overcome any of the illusions that you may have allowed yourself to be entrapped by and betrayed by in the past. Okay. Ooh, my God. All right, so we have this beautiful Fairy of the Green World, which really does remind me of the rainbow activation that we got for the heart chakra the other day. So this is master number 44 here. And the universe is really walking us through this process. If you have not, like I said, been keeping up, you will see that thankfully, through my connection to the divine and being able to channel spiritual information, we have had the universe holding our hand throughout this process. And so, what we are realizing now is that even in this, you know, state of affairs, we can still count our blessings, remain connected to the spiritual truth that is connected to our liberation and our understanding of our true freedom, so that we can reciprocate positivity on the earthly plane, overcoming any of the illusions that have been harmful to the planet. Okay. So, in the ways that Mother Earth has protected us throughout our journey, even amidst all of the things that we've been fed, we now are going to see how it is that the natural world needs us. Okay, so as above, how are we a benefit to the natural world? With hope. Yes, by continuing to have hope for the future, right? Continuing to have a positive outlook on the ways that we can impact the planet, all right? If we lose hope, then it's going to be reciprocated as above, so below. If we lose hope in this spiritual connection, in this mental gymnastics that we're going through, if we lose hope, then our minds won't be strong enough to create the new reality. So we can't lose hope. We have to maintain a sense of hope in humanity and hope within ourselves that people can change and that we can actually influence and impact the world in a positive way, and that we can liberate ourselves, and that we don't need to rely on anyone outside of ourselves to support us on that process of liberation. Because really getting free is about detaching yourself from the things that made you believe you weren't free in the first place. Your freedom is only in question when you question it. Okay. If you know you free, it doesn't matter what anybody else tells you. You know that you're free. You're not looking for anybody else to liberate you. You're clear on that for yourself. And so in this process, maintaining a certain level of strength, um, and clarity about our responsibility and the ways in which that we impact things, it allows us to maintain a sense of fortitude and high ambition for the things that can be accomplished here. Wow, we have High Priestess of Spirit. Wow, this is a number 7, my favorite number. And what this is saying is that in the physical reality of our lived experience, we then step into our High Priestess of Spirit embodiment, right? That the natural world needs us to be connected to our spiritual truth and our spiritual connection and our spiritual understanding. That's what the world needs from us. Okay. Um, this is really, really beautiful. So, what does the moon have to say about all of this? As above, the moon says, it's being elusive as ever. Oh, the unexpected. No wonder she's being so elusive. So the moon says, don't believe me, just watch. That's what the moon says. Um, I love how the circles, she wanted to come over on this side to be clarified. This is a number 43, another number 7. 777 so far. So we're definitely looking forward to a positive outcome for anything that we may be experiencing in the physical realm. Having hope and faith in the Most High Universe, um, and understanding that a level of surrender onto those higher forces will allow us to stay in a positive vibration and embrace the unexpected. And so, what I see on this card is really like dimensional timeline shifts between now and the end of the year, moving into 2021. Um, this definitely could be connected to the blue moon reading that I did. I think that might have been a Taurus full moon, might have been the blue moon. Um, I will double check that, but um, either way, this is us being able to see a new reality and also have the opportunity to step forward into a new dimension, a new understanding, a new vibration of the planet. But the moon says, if you don't believe in the divine orchestration that is happening, you will see because the unexpected is going to present itself very soon, it seems. And so I'm also getting that higher dimensional beings are watching things play out in unexpected ways in the physical reality. And they are also hoping that we align and tune in appropriately so that the timeline shift can be a positive one for all of us. Ooh, all right. Yep, I knew that's what that was. Okay, so we have the fear card here. And the moon says right now that fear is really, again, that's the triumph of lies. That's the biggest lie. See, this one wanted to come over here with the unexpected of how we're going to be liberated, how we're going to liberate ourselves, right? And then what's here with this triumph of lies is the fear. The earthly plane has been ruled by fear for so long that this internal radiance that we have, we've kind of been hiding it. And so because we haven't recognized our own majestic radiance, the triumph of lies has overpowered, okay, and superseded the truth, all right, which is that we could always atone and reach resolution to these personal issues so that we can recognize our freedom and impact the world in a positive way, right? But fear tends to block our ability to connect fully to the divine spirit of life because we're here in the earthly plane, um, feeling trapped and feeling um, that level of uncertainty that prevents us from being brave. And so, what the moon is basically revealing to us is that fear operates in unexpected ways. And what we would have to do then is tap into the truth, right? And atone for the ways that we've allowed fear to, keep us in analysis paralysis, right? And from actually doing the work that's necessary in that spiritual aspect to shift things on a physical plane. So finally, we have the Deviant Moon Tarot helping to wrap this message up. And as above, what we have, oh, before I go to that, what they're also telling me is that because things are so up in the air right now, and things are happening in unexpected ways, um, kind of like a scatterbrain type of energy. It's just creating a lot of fear and anxiety in the physical reality. And so, in order to balance that and find positive reciprocity, it's important for us to realize our own radiance and allow the universe to remind us of the true freedom that is our birthright. So now we can move on to the Deviant Moon Tarot. As above, we have Ace of Cups. Yes. So this is the universe giving us, look, the moon shining down on this cup here. And so what the universe is saying is that there's a big old cup of love, right? Open to love, heart awakening, right? We've heard it before that love is the only thing that will drive out fear. And so it is our cup of fulfillment and enjoyment and positivity and compassion and love for ourselves and each other that will allow us to see the fruits of that in the physical realm. Okay. So this definitely goes with us atoning for the ways that fear based, illusionary, oppressive structures and systems and powers that be have blocked our connection to unconditional love. And once we atone for that, um, and we flip that fear on its head truthfully to the other end of that spectrum, which is love, then below we have Oh, yes, we can put an end to all of those different ways that we have allowed ourselves to be stabbed in the back. This is really dope. So not only do we wrap this triumph of lies in a box and everybody's got their sword of truth, you know, poke through it, put planting that sword of truth squarely in that box and allowing this false king here to um, get a dose of his own medicine, pretty much. By operating in that sense of truth, we can overcome. And the universe is reminding us that we are safe. Okay. We do not need to stay in this space of mental entrapment. We don't need to stay in this space of self inflicting wounds, right? We can actually remove ourselves from the tyrannical reign of this. I can't call him a leader, right? But at the end of the day, and that's no him or her in particular, it's the triumph of lies that has overshadowed our radiance that we are atoning for here. Um, it's been tyrannical, even in our own lives. And when we're able to really reconcile those things, then we can actually tap into and receive the abundant love and support from the universe itself. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I know that was a lot. I know I got tongue tied a little bit throughout this reading, but thank you for sticking through it and for being here with me. Again, follow me on Instagram at Moonshine Delights, and I will update you guys about the contest. All right. I love you. Peace.